What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here to review last night's AEW Dynamite. This Dynamite, there was, there were like one or two things I really liked, and the rest of it I just didn't really care for. I know it's like negative tone, but there was 7 matches on this Dynamite. I know one of them was two of them were kind of a squash, but too much, man. Like, can we get some promos? Well, that's what's weird. So Dynamite starts off with like these random kind of promo videos for like not every match, but some of the matches, which was quite weird. Like you had Kenny, Don Callis, MJF, and Brody King. I think that was it. Maybe 2 other people as well. This was quite weird. But you know, doing that instead of an actual promo, just kind of, I don't know. Here's where we find out there's a 6-man of Don Callis' family versus the Death Riders. This is making me think like we're running this quite a few times in a row here, or different variations of Death Riders versus Don Callis' family. I think this must be leading to a Anarchy in the Arena or something. They're probably going to stretch this all the way to that, if I had to guess. Yeah, when you look at Anarchy in the Arena, that's the only thing that makes sense right now, which basically means that the Death Riders are turning face, bro. Whether you like it or not. And me personally, I don't like it. It's just... I went over this before in my other reviews. Like, they literally did stuff which was basically illegal. The kidnapping, basically trying to kill the people they were kidnapping, and you know, it's just how John Moxley, I get turning face, but now John Moxley's turned face, he just does random matches against some fodder guy he's obviously gonna win against. Maybe not next week, when that match comes up, but. Anyway, let's get into the first match. I didn't want to... I'll try and keep this a bit more quicker. I didn't want to make too many notes because I didn't really care for most of these matches, I'll be honest. So the first match is Death Riders, consisting of John Moxley, Daniel Garcia, and the Bastard Pac, with Don Callis' family consisting of Konosuke Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and El Clon. Klon is a interesting wrestler. Like, some of his movements are so like unorthodox. Sometimes you don't know if he's like botched something or if he just moves so weird that was intentional. This happened a few times. Takeshita at one point it like takes out all 3 of the dudes. Klon does like a kip up, but he stalls kipping up because he does this weird stalling thing, and then he does it into a Pele kick, which is quite cool. The Death Riders are, you know, it's a back and forth, typical stuff. Pac is getting worked most of this match, or during the breaks, I guess, for the Death Riders. Weird you're working Pac instead of Daniel Garcia, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. The Death Riders still do some heel adjacent stuff, so it's like they're turning face, but they're still they're almost turning into tweeners. I don't really know. I don't really like tweeners, to be honest. Not as a group. I don't mind the, you know, maybe a single guy tweener, but I don't know. The Mox and Takeshita exchange during this match was quite good. Gives you hopes for the match, which is set for next week at Grand Slam Australia, which this Dynamite is set up to be quite a good card, actually. I will say that. Not sure on start times for UK for this. I can't. So last year I watched Grand Slam Australia. It was the first like event I watched for AEW. I can't remember if I'm pretty sure I had to watch it in the morning because it was on at like 3 a.m. Because they didn't air it live for us. So if it was live, I think it would be on at 7 a.m. around that time in the morning for for UK people. But I don't think they did that because I think Triller. I think I would have watched it via Triller, and Triller is like it's crap for stuff like that. They don't air stuff on time if it's not in America. I don't know why, but I don't know. John Moxley and Garcia do their new stomp combo, like stomp into sharpshooter combo to Takeshita. Takeshita kicks out of that. Takeshita's just going crazy. Takeshita is he's that guy, man. He's one of my favorites. I think Takeshita is my favorite of the new generation of wrestlers. So like Takeshita, Carl Fletcher, Bron Breakker. You know, this class of wrestlers. I mean, Takeshita is easily my favorite. Daniel Garcia. Yeah, this was kind of odd to me. So Daniel Garcia kicks out of Takeshita's knee, Wagamama, I believe it's called. The reason I thought this was crazy is because I'm pretty sure to win the IWGP belt, Takeshita won with the Wagamama. I could be wrong with that. So he beat ZSJ with the Wagamama, but Daniel Garcia's kicking out of it. Really? Unless I'm wrong on that, but yeah. Takeshita just hits Raging Fire after this to get the win anyway, so that you could have just won with a Wagamama knee. Like, stupid. Nothing much to this match. Like I said, I didn't want to make too many notes because I just didn't really care. 3.25 for me. Fine. No botches or anything. It wasn't bad. It was just like, you know, a bit of a nothing match. Pac was cool in here. Mox and Takeshita stuff was cool. Daniel Garcia, don't care about. Josh Alexander, didn't remember a single thing he did. El Clon was cool with his little weirdness. Weird little guy, El Clon. I kind of like him for his weird stuff. El Clon and Hologram. That will be interesting when that comes around. But yeah, after later on the show, Takeshita and Mox was announced for Grand Slam. Give Takeshita the belt for me. Bias, obviously, but give Takeshita the belt. Have him go against Okada. Reunify the belts because there's too many belts. That's what you need to do. But I feel like Mox is in this. He's not going to put people over again. He's tricked us all by putting Kyle O'Reilly over. And now he's just going to go into this mode again. I don't know. Yeah, at this point of the show, there was a weird 40-minute countdown for Kenny vs. Andrade. I don't know if this was accurate. I should have checked, actually. Was it accurate? I think it was, yeah, because I think top of the hour was Kenny Andrade. Yeah, because women's match was 1 hour 20-ish. Because if you've noticed, the women's match is always 1 hour 20 before the main event. So I think that was accurate. It's kind of random. It's the only time you see it during the show as well. We have Swerve backstage. Prince Nana speaks for him. And Nana says, Swerve's still focused on the world title even after the loss. And I was like, I hope this doesn't lead to a multi-man madness match. But no, this comes into play later on in the show. When I was watching this, which I'm just recording this after I've just watched it. I didn't get to watch it live because I had work at 5 a.m. this morning. So forgive me if I look tired. I was like, oh, is Swerve going to interfere? And I was like, they don't really do that as often in AEW, but I mean, that's what ended up happening, but I'll talk about that when we get to the main event. Ah, man. Here, there was a really nice Will Ospreay video, man. I miss Will Ospreay, yo. When Elevated was playing with the piano, I was like, I got like a feeling through my spine, like, Will Ospreay. Like, there is a hole missing in AEW. And Will Ospreay is a Will Ospreay-sized hole, I mean. I miss him, man. I hope he's good. Yeah, man, I want to see him again. I plan on going to Allin if it's at Wembley. I'm pretty sure it is. So seeing Will Ospreay there would be goated. We'll see. Next up. God. Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm versus some jobbers. This was just, what can you really say? The guy, Orange Cassidy's playing with this guy, you know, doing his Orange Cassidy stuff. Tony's got denim gear. That was kind of cool, I guess. Apparently for Grand Slam, they're having Orange Cassidy and Toni versus Marina and Wheeler Yuta, and the loser of the pinfall shaves their head. I didn't realize this was going on. This must have been set up on Collision. That's interesting. Wheeler, loser shaves their head. It's got to be Wheeler Yuta, surely. He's got like the worst hair of them all. Bold Orange Cassidy's a weird thing in my head. Bold Toni Storm, bold Marina Shafir probably rock it, to be fair, but I mean it must be to shave Yuta's hair. Oh yeah, shave Yuta's hair. He'll seem like less of a dickhead because his hair won't be so scruffy because Death Riders are turning face. Is that the real reason why they're doing this? Give an excuse to do it, maybe. Toni Storm. Oh god, Toni Storm hit a German, and this poor lass, Brittany Brooks, I think her name was. I caught off commentary. She took this German right to the back of the head, bro. Looked horrible. She hit a hole in the back of her head afterwards. I hope she's alright, because that looked nasty. I mean, obviously it's like, yeah, but at the same time, I hope she's alright. Like, Jesus. Toni and OC are doing dancing attacks. Just a showcase match for the tag team. A bit of a taster for what you get in Grand Slam Australia. I don't care for this team. I like Orange Cassidy. I feel like he's being wasted, to be honest, in this. You could argue the same for Toni Storm, but I get why Toni Storm's having like a little break from the world title picture because she's been in it so much. But her star power hasn't dwindled, but it's not helped her. And OC, I feel like OC, he came back and was in the C2, and then what? That was like all he did. I feel like, why is OC not like a contender for the world title? I get he's a gimmick, but so was The Undertaker. Like, I don't know, man. I know Undertaker wasn't some insane wrestler, by the way, but like, I wish they would do more with Orange Cassidy because he's so cool, man. Yeah, 2.5, fine match. Moving on. Oh god, I hate this. Oh, I hate this, man. As soon as I seen this on my screen, I was like, what the fuck? Darby Allin is skateboarding, and then Gabe Kidd, war, ready, Gabe Kidd. It was like, is that New Japan Meet? Some stupid shit like that. Attacks him with Clark Connors, I think. Like cowboy hat dude. I think his name's Clark Connors. Him and Darby had a match on Collision. And they kidnap him. And it's all on camera. So you've just kidnapped him on camera. That's illegal. So and this will lead into something later, which I'll talk about it now, actually. Might as well get it out in one fell swoop. Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors are attacking production to get them to play a video. Oh, God. And they're in the desert, and they've got Darby Allin in a body bag, and they're dragging him across the desert, which looks horrible, because he's actually shoot in the body bag. Because he's a madman. Like, there's jagged rocks all over this. They eventually let him go and just leave him abandoned in the desert. This is just... I don't know what to say about this. This is like that type of wrestling thing which just makes you think, God, this... Sometimes wrestling is complete garbage. Like, what is this? Why are we still doing Gabe Kidd, Darby Allin? I don't want to see Gabe Kidd, man. Like, I know some people hate him, and I get why after seeing this. I didn't mind him. I don't love him when he's talking. I think he just comes off like a little weird, like, little fake hard man. It might be just because I'm from the UK and I can't take his accent seriously at all. This is just proper cringe. I don't like it at all, for me. I really don't like it. Their match at, was it World's End? Where they just bled, and it was just like, yeah, well done, you've bled for a 3.5 star match, good. Like, it was just pointless. Anyway, moving on, I hated that. Yeah. Moving on to Hangman versus Mark Davis. So this match was set up because MJF said on Twitter he'd give Mark Davis £1,000, or $1,000, I mean, if he injures Adam Page. Right, MJF. I get you. You want to save your money. Mark Davis, $1,000. That is nothing to you, mate. And I'm not. Mark Davis obviously isn't paid like main eventer money, but AEW is known for paying their wrestlers well. $1,000. That's not even worth taking the bumps for this match. This was a hard hitting match too. Like, apparently Andrade increased it to 10K though. So, yeah. I mean, Mark Davis was going at this match as if he's trying to kill Hangman, so that was pretty cool. Mark Davis gets thrown into the announce table. His head goes slamming right into it. And you can literally hear the thump. Excalibur says this on commentary as well. Hangman gets thrown into a corner where like the security guard sits on the steel chair they always have set up. And he gets crushed in that corner. That looked cool. Mark Davis later on tries this again, but Hangman dodges it. Moonsault off a railing. This was cool. And then a moonsault in the ring as well for near fall. Hangman, Mark Davis goes for like a razor's edge. I think he has a different name for it. I'm not too familiar with Mark Davis, so I don't know the name of it. So razor's edge. Hangman reverses it into a pin. Davis uses the ropes. Yeah, so Hangman's resting on the ropes like this, and Davis hits the ropes, you know, back first, and it kind of using the momentum of that to fling Hangman forward and then hit him with a nasty clothesline. That was cool. He then tries this again as well later on, but goes the other way. He then also, after that clothesline, he hits a pile driver, or like an attempt at a pile driver. It looked messy, but it kind of made it look better. Like as if he's definitely trying to injure him. Hangman hits Deadeye. Davis kicks out. Hangman hits a tombstone on the ramp into a buckshot. 1, 2, 3. And that's how the match ended. 3.5, fine. I don't care for this that much. A hard-hitting match. Hangman gives him a win to make sense why he's going to Grand Slam Australia. Kind of... Hangman has to beat Mark Davis while Kenny has to beat Andrade. And Swerve has to beat Andrade. Like, there's definitely, like, some different levels here. But, this was fine. Hangman says he hopes to see Kenny in Australia. I should have known when he said that Kenny wasn't going to win, man. Ah, oh, for God's sake. It says he'll stomp on MJF's balls or some shit. There's a Kevin Knight video. Cool, I guess. Fine for Kevin Knight. Basically saying, like, he don't want to be next up. He want to be now. But that never happens in wrestling, Kevin Knight. So, we'll see. Kenny Omega versus Andrade. Now, this was like the highlight of the show for me. I noticed there's a bunch of chicks in the front row. Female fans. Yeah, sure, man. Obviously, these are probably some paid girls. Probably Instagram models or something. They look the type. There for Andrade's little, like, taking picture and, like, hug with the girls gimmick. I do like that. It's funny. Kenny comes out. Kenny is looking in great shape right now, I will say. Like, he looks great. Chop bow to start with. Andrade gives up on this and just eye pokes him. Kenny's going all out at the beginning. He's really, like, trying to win this quick. He even tries to throw one wing danger on the outside, but Andrade gets out of it. Kenny hits a superplex after some top rope fighting. Hits You Can't Escape. Actually does get all of it this time. And he actually lands on his feet, because sometimes he like slips, but no, he landed on his feet. It wasn't like smooth into the... He lands on his feet, waits a second, then goes into the moonsault. Because that's just the current state Kenny's in. It was good though. Yeah, so yeah, Kenny is just in control for most of the early game here. But then Andrade takes control and hits Three Amigos, takes Kenny on the outside for the third, and looks towards the babes. He's like, "Hey, babes, watching me? You watching me?" Andrade hits insane. Yeah, so after this, Andrade hits like triangle like tornado to the outside, and this is where he goes up to the babes. He's like, "Yeah," and they're like touching him. "Ooh, Andrade," and they're like trying to kiss him, kissy pose or some shit. Andrade's just in control here. Hits Naito's pose on the apron. I mean, I think that's Naito. That's how I know that pose is Naito's. I don't know if it's some Mexican thing. I know Naito was in a stable in Mexico. Maybe Andrade must have been in that with him, hence the reference. Andrade tries his double moonsault, but Kenny gets the knees up on the second jump for the moonsault into a missed V trigger. Into a figure four from Andrade. He also tries to bridge the figure for like Charlotte does, but it backfires and Kenny reverses it and then eventually gets to a rope break. The strike exchange, Kenny ends up on top, hits 2 times Snapdragons, but the third one gets reversed, but Andrade doesn't get anything off this, and instead Kenny hits a V-trigger right into the corner, very nice. Now Kenny's like, right, it's over. Kenny's going for a top rope one-winged angel, but Andrade bursts it into a powerbomb that looked crazy. Kenny lands right, like slam, but rolls through. So Andrade hits like a nasty-looking DDT, like a different version of a DDT, like a modified DDT, I guess. Andrade then hits his knees in the corner for another near fall. And this was like a hard hitting Meteora looks. And another strike exchange. Kenny hits triple chop, but Andrade hits a lunging boot as Kenny tries to hit the ropes. But then as Andrade hits the ropes again, V-trigger. The cameras didn't quite catch this. Kenny's trying to get another V-trigger. He's doing the pose. That gets reversed into the Andrade back elbow. That was awesome. Here's where Don's like, oh, okay, we're trying to win here. Gets the screwdriver out, but gives it to Andrade, but Swerve stops him, so that's linking to what Swerve said earlier. During this, Andrade hits a low blow as Swerve steals the screwdriver. The ref's like, what are you doing with the screwdriver, mate? Andrade hits a low blow, hits the DM. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega loses, and Andrade is going on to Grand Slam Australia. Man, when I was watching this, I mean, about 20, 30 minutes ago, I was shoot mad. I was like, what the fuck? Swerve. Like, Kenny Omega's my favorite wrestler, so I was just shoot mad. I was really into this. I really wanted Kenny to go back to the world title, but yeah, after this, Kenny is mad at Swerve, as he should be. Obviously, Kenny doesn't know Swerve is trying to help him at this point, but he'll see, next week or something. Watch the footage back. Right, so if Andrade's winning here, for me, I think you have Andrade go all the way, and I think you have Andrade win the belt. This would be a really nice switch up. Because I personally don't really want to see Hangman MJF again. They did it twice last year. I was in person for one of them. And I remember I gave it a 5, the Forbidden Door one. But I don't remember anything about the match. So I think it was an in-person 5, so like bias. Because the only thing I really remember for Forbidden Door was not that match, basically. I mean, obviously it was the steel cage one with Tanahashi. Yeah, I'd say give Andrade the belt. Quite an unbelievable twist, this as well. Good finish, I will say. I think it was a good finish for the twist. Andrade, twice in a row, he's done the kick into the DM. So, is he going to try and do that to Hangman, but he's going to know. I don't want Hangman to win it. I don't. I'm kind of going off Hangman. Yeah, I was sad, man. I was sad for Kenny. He's like, yeah, I'm back in full health. I'm going for that world title, and then denied. Is this going to lead to a Kenny versus Swerve match at Revolution, or like in the upcoming weeks? Is Kenny going to feud with Swerve? I don't know. Is this a Swerve? No pun intended, because Kenny's not as healthy as he said. I don't know. He looked good in this match though. No Terminator dive, but there was an awkward like setup, so I think that's why. Normally he does it towards the ramp, but this is like an elevated ramp, so I think that's why he didn't do it. It also could seem like they were saving stuff here for a later match, like the Terminator dive. So maybe if Andrade wins the belt, he'll give Kenny a rematch since... Oh, no, not he'll give Kenny a rematch, but Kenny will want a rematch and get hopefully rewarded it because Andrade had to cheat to get there. Then again, Swerve could use that same logic. So Kenny got a bit more screwed than Swerve did, though, let's be honest. But yeah, good match. 375 for me. Yeah, I thought this was good stuff. Nice from Kenny. Great to see Kenny in good form. Yeah, enjoyed this. Next up, Statlander is saying that she's going to give Tekla, who's Tekla? Tekla another shot at the belt, but this time it's going to be a stipulation. Doesn't tell us a stipulation, says it'll be on Collision. She'll let us know. This is quite interesting. So I thought the next challenger would be Megan Bayne, but they're obviously going into the tag division with her because of what happened later on. Or they're like delaying that. Could Tekla win this one? Nah. I don't see her winning now. She lost the first one clean. Yeah, I don't see it. I think Megan Bayne is clearly being set up. Even if she wins the tag belts. It's interesting. We'll see. I wonder what stipulation will be. That'll be good. Stipulation. Well, yeah, I think that'll be good. They'll probably Blade as well. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford versus the Babes of Wrath came next, or Megabad as they're called. I remember the other week I can remember what they were called, but I don't know if that name's new or what. To be honest, I wasn't 100% paying attention to this match because I was just annoyed Kenny lost, if I had to be honest. That's just me being a stupid fanboy. They got me. Wrestling got me. Megan does go for some high-flying moves in this match, which is quite like unorthodox for someone her size. But that's like a bit of a classic, to be fair. There's some of Harley's stuff doesn't look great. But the Sling Blade was good though, so like 50-50. There was like a Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford were trying to hit her with like a double suplex, and Harley reversed it. It just looked not great. I mean, Harley's still green, so I'm not going to be too harsh to her. Similar to Maxine Dupree on WWE, except Harley is a lot better than her at least. Megan Bayne throws Penelope Ford into a cutter. Like, with momentum. I quite like that move. There's a Doomsday device after this to Harley Cameron, and Megabad win. This was an eliminator match, I forgot to mention, so now they get a title shot. It's a bit weird doing 2 eliminator matches on one Dynamite, I feel like. You could have just made this for the belts, because what are they going to do in the second match is going to be different to the first? I feel like not much. But, hey-ho. I think this match is happening at Grand Slam Australia. I believe it is. Excalibur says it's rare these eliminators pay off, which is like, that's almost as if to say most of the time they're pointless, Excalibur. So that was a weird thing to say, but he probably knew main event what was going to happen, so maybe that's why he said that. Bit weird, but yeah. This was a fine match, 3-star. Again, I didn't pay too much attention here. Because I was just mad Kenny lost, but a fine match from these guys. I really like Megan Bayne. I fought with her heavy. There's a video for Tommaso Ciampa winning the belt, which is cool. I didn't watch this match. I didn't have time to watch. I don't have time to watch Collision. There's just too much wrestling. Like, I think this show had too many matches on it, to be honest. But he said he's going to carry on Mark Briscoe's legacy, so to say. And do an open challenge, which is fine, but you're just copying SmackDown here, because this is what happening on SmackDown with the US belt. I mean, that is fine, but I just have to point that out. It's answered by Roddy Strong Claudio, so it's not really an open challenge. It's just like, yeah, a match setup, I guess. Weird way of saying it. So a 3-man. Probably be a good match. Roddy Strong and Claudio. We've used this combination about 50 times. Like, I swear these two wrestle each other once a month or like twice a month or some shit. Like, it's okay. It's never like amazing to run it back constantly. Like, weird. He calls the belt Sylvie. And yeah, Tommaso Ciampa's in like being a bit of a weird, like a Gollum type character. Oh, precious belt. Kind of funny, interesting to see what's going on there. It's a good job Tommaso was on Dynamite, by the way. But then again, his match is on Collision again. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's just being, put on Collision. Not great for him. Well, he won the belt, so what can I really say? Next up, another one of the pointless matches. Jack Perry vs Ricochet for the belt no one gives a damn about, the National Championship. Not the don't confuse it with the International Championship, by the way. Or the Intercontinental, which is the other company. Let's not confuse all these championships that named the Continental. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Continent. I was about to make a joke. Continent Championship, because they're all like named after. But that is literally a thing. Jesus Christ. God. Yeah, so this is the point of the show where I was like, there's too many matches. There was one point, an hour in, I was like, we're only an hour in. Bloody hell. Alright, so I'll be completely honest with this match. I didn't care about this at all. I was skipping through it. I was arrow key, plus 5 or 10, whatever it is on Triller. During like the ads, I was like, I'm not watching this. It's a waste of time. Who cares? Ricochet hit. I saw this hit 2 suplexes, one on the ring, one on the apron, and then a Death Valley driver on the floor. Then it throws Jack Perry back into the ring. Hits a springboard clothesline into another Death Valley driver, and Jack Perry kicks out. What? It just hit you with like 50 moves there. That was kind of insane. GOA come out to help Ricochet before he taps by dragging his hand while one of them's distracting the ref. Then the Young Bucks come out to attack GOA to help Jack Perry because they're mates now or whatever. Young Bucks gear look awesome, by the way. There's the belt has been left on the buckle and Jack Perry gets flinged into it, into Vertigo. 1, 2, 3. Ricochet retains the belt. Who could possibly care about this national championship crap? If you do, like, why? I'd love to know why. Because for me, there's too many belts. This one is gotta be the bottom belt. Like, forget a mid card title. This is a low card title. But yeah, this sets up GOA vs Young Bucks on Collision, and the winner of that match will go into a 3-way #1 contenders match on Dynamite, featuring Rascals, a wildcard team, and presumably the Young Bucks. And presumably the Young Bucks will win that for Young Bucks FTR, if we're going back to that. Not sure. Wildcard's interesting. I wonder what that would be. Would it just be 2 members of the Don Callis family? Or who's not been there for a while? The Acclaimed? I don't know. It's not going to be that wild, is it? Let's be realistic. Maybe it will be. Is there any tag teams who are free agents right now? Not that I know of. No, I don't know who that could be. No idea. Here's where the Gabe Kid thing happens, where he taps production. Then on to MJF vs Brody King. Match starts with some fuck ice chants, because Brody King like wore the fuck ice shirt. Yeah, definitely. I feel sorry for the people having to deal with that. America looks like a fun place to be, but there's so much bullshit going on that I'm kind of glad I'm in the UK. The UK has bullshit as well, but I feel like it's not as bad as what's going on in America. Like, stay safe out there. And you got to deal with flipping hurricanes, storms, snowstorms, and then the police trying to get, yeah, it's ridiculous. The match starts. MJF's very reluctant to get into it because obviously he's scared of him. Hangman's music hits. This was weird. Hangman's music hits and MJF's like, "Oh, what are you doing, you dickhead? Come here then. Do you want to fight?" Probably pay attention to the match you're in, mate. MJF gets choked out and they do like the hanging spot, which Gunther stole for Raw. I see what you're doing, Gunther. That was pretty BM from Gunther. But they don't hang on this spot for very long, no pun intended. MJF like dies on the floor. Then there's a cannonball into a pile driver to the pin. 1, 2, 3 squash. Fine. MJF getting squashed by Brody King is fine. I kind of thought maybe this could happen, to be fair. And then their match at Grand Slam will actually be a proper match. Which is why it feels like these eliminators are pointless, by the way. But there you go. Squash match. fine. What can you really say? The Hangman thing was a bit weird. That's what caused the squash. I guess it just gives you a reason to cause it. How about you just have Brody King kill him? How about that's the cause of it, rather than like it be a distraction? I don't know. Fine. Yeah, that was the show. I'm not gonna really star rate the squash. 1 star is a squash. Who cares? Grand Slam Australia is looking good. I will say I'm quite excited for that. Also, after the match, sorry, before I get into that, Andrade tries to tap Brody King. He hits the fake out elbow, and then hits DM on MJF. Then Hangman comes in, buckshot on Andrade. Hangman's standing tall. Then Hangman tried the buckshot again, just gets a kick to the dick by MJF. That looked good. And then MJF gets another pile driver from Brody as he holds the title belt up to close out Dynamite. Brody King stands tall, so he's going to lose. That's wrestling stuff. I like that they're both trying to attack MJF, so they both really want the title. They're making you think like either of them could go for it. I am a bit scared it's going to be Hangman. Because you're not buying Hangman winning against MJF. We don't know if MJF's in for a long reign. It was pointed, I saw about Kenny Omega. Dynasty, I think, is in Canada. So that might be where Kenny gets his shot. That is probably also where you get Cope and Christian back as well, thinking about it. So you probably don't take the tag titles from FTR. That's the wildcard team. I'm an idiot. Cope and Christian. Must be. Yeah, must be. Yeah. I don't know. It's a bit early, though. Number 1 contenders, because then Revo. Yeah, maybe not, actually, because it's a bit early. I'm not sure when Dynasty is. We still got a month until Revolution. So it's probably not Cope and Christian, actually. But I think this is all leading to FTR Cope Christian. So I don't think the Young Bucks will win that, because then the Young Bucks will have to lose. And like they've just turned face. Not sure. Interesting stuff. Yeah, this Dynamite was fine. I honestly didn't love it. I will be honest. 7 matches is too many for a 2-hour show. Imagine it was longer than that. It's no promos, man. Pretty much. No in-ring promos. The only promos that happen are after matches. Like, come on, man. Like for me, Raw was better this week. Not the wrestling on Raw, don't get me wrong. But just that Roman Punk promo shat on this whole show. Even the Kenny Omega match. Like, stuff like promos make you feel something for the upcoming match. If you just have the match, you're not as invested in it. Promos are so important. I feel like it gets underlooked in AEW. Not every time, obviously, but yeah, this show was really lacking in them. A fine show. Not a great. Probably the worst Dynamite of the year for me. Other than the Kenny was good. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, let me know how you guys thought in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Again, I'm just keeping it honest. I'm not going to fake how I feel or anything for these reviews. I have to keep it 100. Anyway, goodbye. Mwah. And El Idolo. Because Andrade won. That's why I switched it.